Peace and grand rising to the sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine heirs. Today is June the 8th. It is 2025 on the ancient moon calendar, 2026 on the ancient sun calendar. It is 5785 on the ancient Hebrew Israelite calendar. It's 10,066 on the ancient Yoruba calendar. It is however many revolutions you have had around the sun, that is the day that it is on your calendar, because each one of us has our own divine sovereign calendar as well. Some people call it a birth chart or a birth calendar. So other people call it born day or solar return. That is your calendar as well. It is a divine heavenly calendar as well. And then all of our calendars together are since time immemorial. So millions and trillions and millions and trillions and millions and trillions of years on the Moorish calendar, Islam. All rise and stand and remain standing into perpetuity and in alignment and according to the ancient Noahide laws as stated by this holy Congress. This is a sovereign living ancient Article 3, Moorish American, Al-Moroccan, Universal Court action. We are the sovereign living justices and ego sum Pauline Denise Ritchie. My free chosen sovereign appellation is Light Tajiri Bay. All are in capitis diminution nolo in red ink. In propria persona sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio heredes. We are capit et corpus juris legalis, which is our statement that we are the lawful and legal, one and only, natural living head and body for our empire. All Moors are the divine, original, indigenous, sovereign, ancient, Al-Moroccan, Moorish American, ascendants of the great pharaohs of Kemet and of the ancient Moabites, Canaanites, Shemites, Israelites, Cushites, and Hittites. Our full faith and trust, our allegiance, our honor, our credit, and our energy are hereby vested in ourselves, for we are the people who are the original indigenous, natural divine, sovereign, ancient Moroccan Empire. We're the de jure Moorish National Republic federal government. We are ancient Washington District for Columbia. We're the Universal Moorish American Consulate and the Earthwide, Article 3, Moorish American Consular Court. We are the law by our sovereign status, which is the original indigenous, natural divine, sovereign, ancient Article 3, living United States District for Columbia Court, and we are the sovereign fiduciaries, original creditors, executors, divine ministers, possessors, grantors, title trustors for all causes for action. And our system is the trustee. We are peace. We are one nation, one state, one empire, and one God. We do hereby recognize ourselves and accept our sovereign divine ascension. We do possess in our custody all land, all natural resources, and all commerce. We, the true living God nation, are not at war, and we are wahr, which is a German word for truth. And we are all eternal, ancient, original sovereign rights at this time and at all points in time, nunc pro tunc. So we will at this time share our screen so that we can have our course here, Islam. So first on our agenda, we will to to clarify some things regarding this Congress and this platform, which is the platform is a mechanism by which Congress is published, but Congress is Congress with or without the platform. We will to make that clear, and that's always been the case, so that's nothing new. Let us discuss momentarily the difference between Congress and a meeting, a regular call, a group, an association, let us discuss the difference really quickly, because this particular topic is important when you're speaking about this Congress and the difference between, for example, other platforms. You know, we watch others on, for example, YouTube or social media. You know, we can learn from others and we hear others, but there's a difference between this Congress and just a regular meeting or a regular conference call. And the difference, if anyone wills to make a statement about their thoughts on that. Islam.
Shasha Ambe.
Islam.
Micah, so Congress it's a governmental coming together with authority, sovereign authority and official capacity to write, enforce,
yes,
discuss
yes,
the law. And a meeting is not. I mean, a meeting is, you can
correct.
still be part of the government and be part of another group, but that's the actual crowning of it, governmental.
Yes.
So I yield.
Thank you so much for that, Empress. That is so important.
Islam,
Empress.
Congress is where we create law, we institute law, we define words, we issue writs, we issue judgments, we establish things, and so
yes,
and you know, and it's the beginning and the end of everything.
Yes.
And versus meeting, you know, a meeting is just where we come together and we meet as we do here, though it's not the depth of our Congress. And and so a call, you know, we're all called to be here. So if you want to give it up that way, and we are a group of people, and so I mean these three bottom words describe our Congress, but it's not the definition of our Congress.
Yes, that's beautifully stated, Empress. Beautifully stated.
Islam,
Empress Karima.
I do affirm what Empress Shasha and Empress Angel stated regarding Congress. We come together as a collective to do our governmental public works, and meetings and calls can be personal. So that could be, you know, one Congress member with another Congress member, and it's personal. It may not be on the public record.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great description also, Empress. And although Congress, we make laws about personal things, because sometimes we can have a closed Congress where we don't put it out on the public record. We record that information, but sometimes we don't put it on the public record if it has to do with, national security issues and things of that nature. We keep those off the public record, but we do, that's a great description also, Empress Karima. Great description. We make law for persons and for personal issues and for private issues as well as public issues, So Islam. Anyone else? All of those are just beautifully stated.
Islam, and a great job we do too.
Yes, indeed. I will affirm. I affirm that. The ancestors have made it very clear to us over the whole time that we've been doing this, the whole almost 8 years, and 8 is an infinite number, that the difference between our Congress and, let's say, other platforms is that our Congress is a targeted statement. These Congresses are for a specific purpose. And that purpose is to govern and rule the whole earth. To govern and rule the whole earth, period. And it is those of us who come together, and this was one of the points that the ancestors really made clear to us that we've already been doing, is that those who attend Congress are doers, not just consumers of information. We actually get the law done, which is so different from someone getting on YouTube and all the people, oh, this is great, this is some great information, and we love that too. We love that too. But this Congress is specifically for those who are going to actually take the information, first of all, present the information, and then have an erudited discourse or course on the information, where we're all speaking back and forth about the information, and then we make a decision on the information together, and we use the voting process to do that. And then we say, okay, this is the law, or this is the process, which is the law still for us and for everyone. And now that we have all agreed that this is the law, let's publish the law and put it on the public record. And when we put it on the public record, we go about saying, okay, this is the law, everyone, and this is how this is done, everyone. And if we have to demonstrate it, we demonstrate. This is how you do this. This is how you do this. This is the law. This is not optional. This is not our opinion only. It is the law as well. So the difference between Congress and just any old meeting is that we're not here just to consume information. See, we love this too. There are some who are on YouTube, and every time they announce that they're having a video, there's 10,000, 15,000, 100,000, 1.2 million people who come to, or persons or people who come to consume the information. They want to hear every word so that they can talk back and forth about it. And did you see Cat Williams doing this and saying that? And we love that too. We love that too. But the difference between that and what we're doing is we're making the laws that everyone must either obey or enforce, and we enforce it. Okay. So we just will, to make it clear that the information that we share is designed to be accomplished, to be done, to be achieved, to be completed with accurate, positive results that create the laws that we write, publish, and enforce. Those who come here and actually stay, those who come to this Congress and stay, who've been here, do not come here simply to be motivated. So we're not motivational speakers. Our purpose is greater than that. Because when you really think about it, yes, people are motivated by the things we state, that this Congress states. People are motivated by it. But if someone has to motivate you to free yourself and to accept your estate and to not be poverty-stricken, if someone has to motivate you to do that, are you really ready for that, for wealth? Are you ready for your estate? Are you ready to govern? Are you fit to govern? If someone has to motivate you to do it, that's the question to think about. It's a question to think about. So Congress is about, and this is just a simple statement on the difference between motivation. If we're here to, and we put motivational energy into what we're doing as well, but the sovereigns don't need motivation from others to be themselves. Motivation is when someone is telling you, hey, look what they did, you can do what they did. You can do it. You haven't done it yet, but you can do it. If you just learn a few things and do a few things and all of that. That's motivation. Motivation is about what others are already doing in many cases, and saying you can do that too. That's what, and you sit there and, you clap and you're like, yes, I'm motivated. I can do that. But then when people go home, are they really able to do those things that they were so excited about? Were you given motivation, or were you given a strategy and a plan? Or were you told the law? Did you manifest the law? There's a difference. Congress is about what we've already done, because we've done so much already that others can look at, and yes, they'll be motivated by what we've done thus far. We hear that all the time. There are many who are motivated by what this Congress has done. Congress is about what we are currently doing also, not just what we did, but what we're doing now and what we're going to do in the future. And the results of that. Do we see the results of the work that we've all been doing? That's the difference between a motivational speech and Congress. A motivational speech, it'll get you motivated, and we like that too. We listened to a lot of that in our sleep in the previous era. In that enactment, we listened to motivational, speakers, and starting with my mother and father. They were motivators, and but now, when you're listening to a motivational person speaking, do they give you the real plan and strategy, or do they just get you excited about doing something, but you have no plan, you have no strategy, you have nothing to support or back up your actions? That's the difference. See, with Congress, we have not just the energy, because motivation is an energy, but we also have the law that we have created to support the things that we do while we are being ourselves. So there is a huge difference that we willed to put on the record regarding our Congress. We have so much that we've accomplished. We are already, and we could go down the list. We have videos where we just went down the timeline of the things that we've done, the things that we've placed on the record, the laws. We have a whole timeline, and it is extensive. Extensive. It extends out without end almost, when you consider that all that we've done is connected directly to that our ancestors did as well. So our will is that we continue doing what we're doing, because we can all see now that the things that we've done are manifesting. The timeline, we were speaking very quickly, and the timeline was really slow before. It seemed like it was slowly catching up to the law. We put so many things on public record, so many together. We did that. We govern together. We've been governing together, and we'll continue to do that. Put so many things on the public record. The timeline has finally caught up with what we've been stating. And that is the difference between this Congress and all other platforms out there that we've seen, is that we come together and we make the law, and then we show everyone this is what the law is, and then we do it. That's important based on something that the great Chief Justise Bey stated this past Friday at House of Reawakening Minds. He brought out some really important and key things that affirmed what we've already been doing. See, one of the things that he stated was that people come to him all the time talking about what they can do. Oh, did you know that we can bend a spoon with our energy? And we can. But what happens when somebody hands you a spoon and say, okay, go ahead and bend this with your energy? Go ahead and do it. What happens then? Do you do it, or you know, do you start stuttering and can't get it out and talking about why you can't do it right now? See, this Congress is not that. This Congress is, we do it. And in many cases, we do it first, and then we bring it to Congress and say, we did this. This was the outcome. Let's make laws. We put life into what we can do. That's what this Congress does. We put life to the words that say we can do this and we can do that. Yes, we have our own courts. Yes, we can use our money to buy things. Yes, we can make laws and then do them. Yes, we can do that. Yes, We have the power and the authority to self-govern. That's the difference between this Congress and this platform and the thousands and even millions of other platforms that are out there, and meetings and groups, because we're not just that. We're not just meetings and groups. We are the Congress. We're the law. And we're the nobility. We govern all land, all natural resources, and all commerce. Can you see it? Can you see how we're able to do those things? All land, all natural resources, and all commerce. We govern all. We, the people. We, the people. See, that's how others can recognize the people. That's one of the people. You're one of the people. I'm one of the people. Why? We're bearing the fruit. We bear fruit. A tree is known by her fruit. With that being stated, the great Sheikh Taj Tariq Bey and Empress Naila Gilliam, House of Reawakening Minds, this past Friday. It was just, of course, always motivational for me. I consider that one of my erudition times where I just block out everything and be erudited. One thing he said, prove what you say you can do by doing it. Don't just say it, do it. He also described the strategy for giving the illusion of privatizing the people's estates. So what he talked about, he gave a strategy, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. The strategy that made sleeping Moors think that someone else had control of their estate. We do take notes. We take notes. Yes, Empress Shasha says, put your money where your mouth is. Ooh. Your money, not somebody else's. Put your money that you create where your mouth is. Because how you going to put somebody else's money on it? It's got germs and stuff on it. Put your money where your mouth is. Islam. Wow. So the great Sheikh Taj described the strategy, and this is what he stated, that we just, it really caused our minds to just, our turban expanded. He described the strategy. So this was the previous strategy that we have restated. So what was done initially was there was a narrative created about slavery and about Moors being Negro, Black, colored, and African American, which we are not. But someone somewhere created a narrative, and they wanted you to believe. They wanted us to believe. Believe. Negro, Black, colored, and African American instead of the nobility and the heirs in government. And then after they created that narrative, they tested the narrative on the public. Because see, it's a private narrative. Let's make that clear.
Point of interest?
It was a private narrative. Islam, Empress.
Islam.
No, from what I'm understanding in regards to that, now, Mr. Jesse Jackson supposedly had something to do with that. So was he just a corrupt Moor that was being nefarious, doing something like that to his own people?
I will be very frank with you, Empress. We could easily point fingers at others about this situation, about this strategy. He was ignorant. He was ignorant. He wasn't the only one. All of them were ignorant.
Yeah.
And so were we at one point.
True.
See? Because even if someone had nefarious intentions, that nefariousness comes from a place of ignorance, because we don't have to do all of that. When we know who we really are, we don't have to be nefarious and tricky and slick and ugly. Those are symptoms of ignorance. So he probably had good intention, and he was probably thinking that he was helping. But
Islam.
If he wasn't telling the truth about who we really are, he had to have not known then. That means he didn't know.
I find that a lot of our people in the past tense, they were just so kind and accepting, and that is what got us in the position that we are in today, because of the fact that their hearts are so pure, and it's all about Ubuntu for them and involving everybody and welcoming everyone. And unfortunately, the enemy was plotting and planning behind closed doors, behind our backs. And unfortunately, this is why we are where we are today. Yeah.
Well, Empress, don't they say, there's a saying, the road to hell is paved with good intention.
True, yes, because the devil is cunning.
And ignorance is of the law is no excuse, you see.
True.
So he wasn't, I can't even give him a villain status, because he wasn't smart enough to be a villain. He didn't know. Now, because see, we all know. Now, if we turn around and start doing nefarious things, then that's a different story, because we know who we are. He knew, the one that you stated, Jesse Jackson, and all of them, Farrakhan and Sharpton and all of them. We're not even mad at them. We're not mad at them, because first and foremost, matriarchs, we were supposed to be the ones keeping everybody in alignment. So the first face we look at is ours when it comes to who we are. So let's put that on the record first. Islam, Empress. Let's get that out the way.
I had to say Islam to that one.
Yeah.
Because that absolutely is the truth. And adding in, if I may, I actually know a sleeping Moor well who works alongside the one of whom we are speaking. And the only thing I'm going to add, I think, and it came into my mind before you even mentioned the matriarch, I think along the way, in addition to ignorance, they allowed themselves to be fed with things that did not come from Mama's kitchen.
All right.
You know?
And right.
You know, that's really where, and eyes were turned away. Blind eyes were turned.
In the interest of being nice to people, whoever came here, we wanted to be nice
nice. And what does nice mean? Nice means
It means stupid.
no use, and it means stupid and kinny, grinny, but of no fortitude and no strength, foundation, nor authority. So there. And at a point, as you state about the matriarchs, the fact of the matter, just because somebody comes with a sweet apple, waving it before your nose and your mouth, don't mean you have to bite.
Yeah.
And so even, and I've done my research too, so they're on these, as you state, on these individuals, but ultimately, as you state, it comes home to mother. Yeah. We did not do what we were born to do, supposed to do, willed to do, all of those things. And as you say again, and I'm reminded every week, and it's one that rolls with me too. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. I yield.
Islam, Empress, because all we have to do is do what we're doing now.
Exactly.
That's why ignorance is no excuse. Because how simple is it for us to actually prioritize our nation?
And which comes from our womb.
Who has to motivate us to do that? Nobody.
No one.
We do it ourselves.
Look in the mirror.
So, it's easy to point fingers.
Yeah.
But when you know that you're God and that no one has any authority over you, then you just accept responsibility for everything, and then you change it.
Step on it.
Period.
That's it. Islam.
You change it.
That's it. We are changed. That's
transformed. Yes.
Transformer, right.
Transformed, indeed. So, that is the point for this Congress, is not just talk about it, but be about it. And those are not ego statements. We got the proof on the record. The proof is there. The proof is in the pudding. The PUTTING. Put this here, put that there. Not just talk about putting it there. Do it. So when our great Chief Taj, because we know that he has a lot of people, we can do this, we can do that. That's great. It's great to be motivated about all of that. That's awesome from our perspective. Okay, at what point do we stop talking about it? Or while you're talking about it, be demonstrating it and showing it. See, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. This is how you put the blood on the doorpost. Let's go to that part. Let's go to that one. This is how you proclaim where you are, and then you have people come. That means they agree that this is where we are. Put the blood on the doorpost. This is how you do that. This is how you do it. So, with these Congresses, a lot of us talk about a lot of things. We talk about things, we know about things, we know what the law is, but when we get tested, what do we do? You see, this Congress has proven what we've been saying. This Congress has been tested. So when it comes to this strategy, persons that, like the ones that we mentioned previously, Jackson and Sharpton and others, They are the mechanism by which the public is tested, by which the narrative was tested. Because any time a quote-unquote black person was shot and killed in the enactment, those are the faces they put forward. They said, okay, you go out there and you tell them whatever you want to tell them to calm them down. If they want to have a march, they can do that. If they want to, hold a rally, they can do that. But what they can't do is do the things that this Congress has done. So they were saying, tell them anything except who they are. Don't tell them that they've been here for since time immemorial. Don't bring that up. Even though you might know it, don't bring it up. That was what they were told. That's what the tools, because they were just tools, were told in order to test the narrative on the public. There's no better way to test a narrative than to have something happen and then apply that narrative and see if people go up and consume that narrative. See the reaction of the people with the narrative. And I could say shoot one of them down, but we're not black, so we can't say they're shooting Moors because they're not. They're shooting. They were previously shooting blacks. People who knew in their knower, in their mind, that they were black because that's what they were always told. So they would do something with one of those and then apply the narrative. Okay, get somebody who looks like them, who looks like us, put a camera in their face, and just make sure that they say the stuff, say the narrative. And if they veer from the narrative, kill them. If they veer from the narrative, throw them in jail. If they try to infer that all these people have been here, that we've been here the whole time, that we've been here since time immemorial, shut off the cameras, even right in the middle of their words. Shut the cameras off, and then take action and do something with them. Reprogram them, scare them, whatever, and so that they stay on script, because they're actors, so that they stay on script. So that's how the narrative was tested on the public. And here we sat in front of the TVs in the previous era, looking at the screen, not knowing if any of that actually happened, because it wasn't happening. It didn't happen like right here to most of us. Some of us it did. And so once the narrative was tested on the public, and the public didn't, and nobody rebutted it properly. Nobody rebutted it. Nobody. No one said, we're Moors. We're not black, first and foremost. So what are they talking about? A black man was shot by a police officer. That ain't a black man, and that ain't a police officer. So what are they talking about? What is this theater that we're seeing? What is this Hollywood production that we're looking at? It doesn't make sense. So then that's a good question. Chief Justice Adrian asked in the chat, he says, so are they dirty Moors when they don't know who they are, or are they just sleepy-headed Moors when they don't know who they are? Both. It's called corruption and ignorance. Just because you don't mean to be dirty doesn't mean you're not dirty, because you're ignorant. That means that you've contracted ignorantly. You've contracted ignorantly. That's corruption. Again, ignorance of the law is no excuse. No excuse whatsoever. So we can't even claim that. So it's kind of like babies, children. When they go outside, they're going outside and they're playing, and they're playing in the dirt. They're really having a great time. They're having a great time. The children are out playing. They're having a great time. But that doesn't mean they're not dirty. Just because there are sweet, loving children that we love so much, that still does not mean that they're not getting dirty outside. So that's another reason why, even when we first nationalized, and then we started, knowing some things and putting some information out on the record, we had some who, we saw people throwing around names between each other, calling each other agents, and, oh, that's she an agent, he's an agent, blah, blah, blah. The ancestors told us don't even worry about that, because ignorance causes folks to be agents too. They're not intending to be agents, but they are because they're ignorant. So the ancestors told us don't worry about that. You don't have to go out there and call people agents and all of that stuff when you see them put some ignorant on the record. Don't do it. Your energy need not go there. Your energy need not go there. So they tested the narrative on the public, and then what did they do? They said, okay, no one rebutted properly, competent rebuttal. Because see, it's not considered rebuttal if it's not competent. And that's the problem that Moors had in the previous era. When they would go into fake court and start talking, and actors would just talk louder, seemingly, they shouldn't have been there in the first place. The Moors shouldn't have been there in the first place. So ignorance of the law is no excuse. That means you must know who the law is, so that you won't go to Toys R Us trying to trying to talk to the Toys R Us persons like they're a court, because they're not. So then they worked around the narrative. So they said, okay, nobody rebutted this narrative, so let's go ahead and put up some props. Put up some props and make it look like the narrative is true. So let's get an old house and put some chains and some things in it, and then show some pictures of some brown skinned people with welt marks on their back, and then say this is all y'all's history. We got 5 pictures, and this is all y'all's history. We don't have millions and millions of pictures. We got 5 photos that we circulate year after year after year. And that applies to all 350 million of you more. The fakes had photos that they crafted and made. And ain't but a few of them, we've all seen them. And they said, this is all of you. Now that doesn't even make any sense to a thinking woman. Doesn't even make sense. You only took 5 photos of millions and millions and millions whose minds you wanted to control. You only got 5 photos or 10, or a drawing of a boat with all this stuff. Oh no, you have Hollywood too. You had that. Let's make a movie, and let's call it Roots. And we're not mad at that. We're not mad at Roots. We're not mad at the writer, the Sleeping Moor who wrote it. We're not mad at that. Because all we had to do was do what we're doing now. Then, while the actors were building their stages and their theaters, the people had to be distracted. You distract them. Distract them with whatever you distract them with. Whatever it is, just distract them. You can distract them with bread and circuses. You can distract them with movies and what else? O.J. Simpson trial. Distract them. Keep them distracted and keep injecting that narrative in there. Black, 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 black in there. Make sure you say that while you're distracting them. And then, after you've distracted them long enough to keep them from noticing that you put on a black robe and pretending to be a judge, then you say, oh, you're being beat up by police? Come to our court, and we'll see if we can help you with that. Because you're not supposed to create your own court that's been in operation since time immemorial. So the great Chief Taj pointed this out, and he listed these things. We wrote them down, and we said, okay, this is a good strategy because it worked. It worked. What is our strategy? What is the restatement of this strategy? It's what we've been doing. The restatement of the strategy is what we've been doing. So what does that look like? The restatement of the strategy is this is our truth. Our truth is that we were born wealthy beyond all that any could think or even imagine. Shortly after birthing, we were placed among the commoners and treated as commoners, not knowing that we are not commoners. The commoners were under oath not to speak about our true identity as the nobility and gods at earth. We spent some time out of our minds in the enactment in order to learn processes that create systems. We said that systems are built on, but we will to update that. To remember processes that create systems. We learned the processes, and now we remember who we really are. All obstacles placed in our way were removed by us. That is our story. That's our truth. And so what are we going to do? And what are we going to continue to do? We've already published this truth. So the restatement of this strategy is we know our story. We must tell our story. So we're stating our truth. That's number one. This is not a private truth. This is the truth about who we are. Number two, publish our truth. And we have done that, and we will continue to do that. Number three, build the infrastructure, which we have done that as well. The infrastructure is our courts, our banks, and the publishing, the public record. And see, in the previous era, capitalism was used to do this in the enactment. And then number four, I'm having to program myself better. And then number four of our strategy is to inform the people. And number five, introduce the cure. So this is the restatement of the strategy that the great Chief Taj pointed out this past Friday. Everything that we see, we can restate it and use it. Everything that we see, we can restate it and use it, because all of it was all of the things from the previous era were a bastardization of the truth. That is the difference between this Congress and many other platforms. Is we must restate everything and then actually do it. The cure is nationality and systems. And I will say this too. We saw, we weren't able to, we did not watch the entire broadcast, but we did see where on Office Hours with Dr. G from last week, where she had Chief Pontiac on her platform, on Dr. Empress Nyla Gilliam had Chief Pontiac, Rod Hayes, on her platform, and the title of the presentment was "It's All About Systems," which is what we've been stating for 7 years. And not just stating it, we didn't just say it. And that goes back to the greatness and the great words of our great Chief Taj. We didn't just say it. We created the systems. And for that, we're grateful. That is the difference between this platform and many other platforms, is that we literally created the systems and just uncovered, put the information with the energies, the ancient energies that our ancestors put on the public record, and just uncovered what was already ours and what was already there. So this is what we're doing, and we've stated this before, but we are just so grateful that the great Sheikh Taj talks about these things on the public record as well. So with that being stated, he also mentioned something about personating. He mentioned the term personating and about how frauds and fakes were personating. That means using persons in all capital letters in black ink, dead persons and dead corpses, to pretend to be the sovereigns. So another thing that he brought out was about the emotions, and these are our words. We say remove emotions from the funny mirror. If there's anything that you see being done in the funny mirror, just remove your emotions from whatever you're seeing and don't look at it. If it elicits emotions from you other than laughter, then just set it aside. Anything from the funny mirror. If it does not elicit laughter, or because that's all high comedy from the funny mirror, it's actors who are inept at acting like sovereigns. They are not competent. So all of our energy, and here I'll just take the Y off of that. We place our energy with ourselves and our nation. And then we take actionable steps to transcend the complete destruction of the funny mirror corpse. The destruction was being enacted by Doge actors. So they went in and cut off all the money, quote unquote. Well, we had already done that. They were just enacting it. They were just enacting cutting, slashing budgets, quote unquote, and all of that. We had already done that. All they did was enact it and then let everybody else know this is what has already been done by the masters, which is us. This is important for all that is going on right now. All actors that were previously acting as city, states, and federal enactments were funded by bonds that are dead, and no one is buying the bonds. Thus, the corpses are no more. There's no cities besides the Moors. There's no states besides the Moors. There's no federal besides the Moors. There's no sovereigns besides the Moors. Period. There's no God besides the Moors. There's no landlords besides the Moors, because no one has any money to enact that. The actors were even saying, we don't have any more money. They never had any money to begin with. When you see things in all capital letters in black ink that you didn't create, just know that there's no funding behind that. There's no validity behind it. There are no resources behind it. So it must be rebutted. It must be rebutted. It's interesting because I've been watching movies from the early 1900s to the 1920s, 1930s, 1950s, and so on. I've been watching those movies because the movies tell a lot about, they affirm a lot about what we're stating. For example, in some of the early movies in early 1900s movies, when you see foreigners who are, let's say, for example, I saw one one movie where the foreigners were in this big, gigantic, beautiful domicile. And they were acting out being wealthy. Well, how did we know that the house didn't belong to them? Because it had Moorish statues all throughout the house. Every statue was us. Every statue. Beautiful artwork. All of the artwork was us. And they staged themselves in that place, but they had to have somebody's permission. They had to have one of our permission to even be in that beautiful, big, gigantic domicile. They had to have our permission, because you don't just show up and start filming in a place like that. You don't do that. And making movies in a place like that without permission. We're going to trumpet our truth from the rooftops. We did a demonstration where we spoke our truth to another, a sleeping Moor who was just itching to wake up. He was just ready to wake up. And when we spoke our truth, it hit his truth center so hard that he was in tears. That happens quite often when we tell our story, our truth. Questions, comments, wisdom, Islam. So let us move to another topic, a beautiful topic for this week. The full moon is this week on Wednesday. And this week we have the 3-day fast, our 3-day water-only fast. Now, for those who can do the 3-day water fast, we would suggest highly that you do water for 3 days for 3 days straight. Lots and lots of water, day and night water for this 3-day period, the 10th, 11th, and 12th of June. The purpose of the 3-day fast is to activate the natural bacterial and fungal and viral consumption process within us against all foreign matter. This is an anatomical reset. It takes 3 days to reset the body. We are rebutting the decay process when we do this. Okay? Support for these scientific facts is that dead bodies start to stink after 3 days due to this same process. Decay is when bacteria, fungi, and viruses, which are called pathogens, path of genes, or path to genes, turn on anything that is not living, and that's foreign to our bodies, and begins to consume and use it to produce energy. We have naturally occurring bacteria, fungus, and viruses in our bodies, in our cells, naturally occurring. Alternatively, after 3 days of fasting and drinking water only, these natural pathogens begin searching for anything foreign to consume it and eject it. So if there's anything in your body, such as quote unquote cancers or foreign, anything foreign, disease is foreign to us. A 3-day water-only fast is the start to complete and total healing and cure and remedy for anything that's going on with us. And fortunately, we're super healthy, so we don't have anything going on like that. But this is prevention as well as remedy. And that's why we do it. It is prevention and cure at the same time. Okay, and that 3-day process, those viruses and bacteria and fungi and all of that, either they can be life to your body or decay to anything that's not moving, that's not living. Okay. So that is the purpose. And so we'll be doing the 3-day fast Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for this week coming up here. And we do it every month at the full moon time. And again, we've always stated this and we'll always continue to state this, that you can do the water only fast, but if you are led to fast a different way, then fast a different way. If you're led to fast from sunup to sundown, then do that. If you're led to fast from negative energy, then do that. That's automatic with a water only fast. If you're led to fast from meat only, then do that. If you're led to fast from negative speaking, then do that. However your spirit leads you to fast. This is a suggested way to do it because you can't tell sovereigns what to do, and we will never try to tell sovereigns what to do. But we are definitely here to state the law and to also highly suggest some things that are in the favor for the sovereign. Our focus is the sovereigns. We haven't forgot about the subjects, but subjects already know how to subject or they wouldn't be subjects. So that is what we are doing this Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I will tell you that when we put our energy together to do that, it is such a powerful statement in the cosmos, in the astronomical, between the astronomical bodies, the cosmological bodies, the Earth's energy, the frequency of the land, the frequency of the property, and all things living and not living. It is a statement. There is an energy and a frequency to healing, to health, to unity, Islam. We had a conversation recently with one of the Moors, but we had the conversation about Moors attempting to be the authorized representative for a corpse. We know that all things belong to us, all of the conveyances, the cars, automobiles, the houses, all of that stuff is already ours. We know that. Therefore, we do not have to pretend to be a corpse to obtain those things. All we have to do is keep doing what we're doing. And in speaking to this individual, this individual was saying that, that they're using the all caps and black ink to get the people to do what they say, the persons to do what they say. And they're saying, yeah, we need the lights and we need the cell phones and we need this and we need that. And that's how you get them. Well, that's against the Fifth Amendment to answer for a corpse. Okay. And when we pointed that out, surprisingly, they responded positively, not knowing that it's against the Fifth Amendment to pretend to be the authorized representative for a corpse. We don't represent the dead, we are the living. We can use a person. We can use a person all day. A person is a word on paper. We could use a person, but not a dead one. So if it's not created by you, I wouldn't do it because it's against the law. In order to get anything on our land, we must be ourselves. That's how the system is set up. Yes, everything belongs to us. We know that. We know that. Everything is ours. We know that. We're aware. The way that we obtain those things and possess those things and use those things and utilize them is not by pretending to be dead. Because even the things are not dead when they're in our possession, when they're properly proclaimed. Your automobile is not a dead thing, because why would you get into a dead thing when you're living? All of our property is living. So, we have some who are, they're just not willing to let the all caps, black ink, death corpse created by someone else, they're not willing to let that go, because they think that in order to have a cell phone, you have to use that thing, when we prove that you don't. We just got to get the rest of the process. But we used our driver's license that we created to get a cell phone. It worked. And then now what we're doing is completing the process. And listen, we're willing to do without a cell phone to complete that process, because we're not going to capitulate. We're just not going to do it when we know everything is ours. And what we'll do is continue demonstrating and making that continue to manifest. Period. Because this is our land, it's our air, it's our space, it's our water. All of it belongs to us. And we're not going to capitulate over little things. We're not going to capitulate over anything. We're just not going to do it, because that's not how our system works. We don't have to capitulate. And here's the thing, we don't have to do without either when we know the whole process. But we have to be willing to take the time to do the process from start to finish without capitulating. The ancestors hold everything safely when we stand. Let's just stand. Speaking of standing, recently and all along, we've been receiving emails for help and instruction, and we're okay with that. We're not mad at that. We appreciate that the people know that we all are giving remedy. We've received emails for instructions on how to do things, and our first instruction is always to go within and hear your spirit for the remedies that you seek, because your spirit will speak to you quicker than we can answer an email. Your first and highest authority is you. Our first and highest authority is us. So tune in to your ancient spirit and let the spirit work for you more. By the time you have an email typed up, the spirit will have given you the remedy. You just get up and do it. Like our Grand Sheik said, just get up and do it. Just do it. Think it through, strategize, write it out by affidavit, and then demonstrate it. Now, meanwhile, again, we love that we all have connection now, and we all know who to connect with in order to accomplish things, to get a little information about the remedies and things of that nature. We are at a place now where where when people come and ask us for instructions or assistance or anything, the ancestors have given us permission now, because we didn't have permission to do this before. And we get our permission from within, by the way. The ancestors did not give us permission to say the things or state the things that we're stating now about instructions and remedy. But now that we are where we are and that this Congress has done the work, the ancestors have given us permission to point to the work that this Congress has done and to say, hey, you have a right to look at this. So recently someone that has been in contact with us for about 4 or 5 years. And however, because of their work schedule, they don't attend Congress. And it's evident that they don't attend Congress, and it's evident that they don't look at all the Congresses by what they write in their emails. And so they were asking, they sent about, multiple emails, and again, they've known about Congress for 4 or 5 years and don't attend regularly. And they'll go along and something will happen, and all of a sudden we get 20 urgent emails saying, this is urgent, Light. Chief Light, we need this and that and this and that. Can you send me this, that, and this and that? Can you send me whatever? Those types of urgencies are not our urgency. And this is not about ego. This is not about being ugly to people. This is about the truth of what are the priorities. So we got the email and the multiple emails. And when we did not respond, they sent a final email saying, can you please send me some instructions? So this was our response. And this is a little bit, it's small, so it's a little bit difficult for you to see it, but I'll make it as big as I can make it. My response to their email about instructions, because, they just, after sending multiple emails, they said, will you please send me some instructions? I said, here are the instructions. There are over 500 Congresses of instructions at YouTube channels like Tajiri. Go to this link and use the vast amount of resources because they are published specifically to assist you at this very moment. And then I asked the question, have you been attending Congress regularly so that you know how to navigate the very issues you are dealing with right now? If governing your affairs by attending Congress every Sunday is not your priority, then whatever you are doing every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern is your top priority and should be able to assist you best right now. Peace and Islam. We were not being ugly. We were not being ugly. But what we were doing was stating that you've known for years, and it wasn't even important enough for you to attend even once a month Congress, not to mention every Sunday or Thursday, because we had Congresses on Thursdays as well, and we do now again as well, through other Moors. But we're supposed to stop what we're doing, governing, which will never stop. Drop everything and go through 30 emails from you, that one. And we're not mad at you, but this is you're not even the first one to do that. We're supposed to stop what we're doing. And there have even been times in the past where if we didn't answer the 5th or 6th or 7th or 8th or 12th or 30th email, if we didn't answer it, that we got a couple more emails with insults and things in it, talking about how nobody is helping and this, that, and the third. But it's 500 and something email Congresses on the public record that you haven't bothered to look at, and you know that's what we do. So we just will to put that out there that we have always been happy to assist, but if you're not willing to help yourself with the information that's out there, then there's really nothing we can do anyway for you, because you're your own savior. We are not your savior. You are your Jesus Christ or Yeshua. And if you won't even take the time to read and study and let the Spirit lead you first, before you even look at a video, the Spirit should be talking to you. That means something's in the way of you and your spiritual connection. That has to be fixed first, and only you can fix it. Then comes resources, videos, and books, and court actions, and laws and things that we've placed on the record. Those things can assist you, but your spirit, you must be connected to your ancient ancestral within. That's where that's your first authority anyway. And we're not even mad at the ones that have sent us ugly emails because we didn't answer the first 30, when there's hundreds of videos out there answering that for you that we've taken the time to do. This Congress's time is valuable. This Congress does not do this for nothing. We do this for ourselves first and then to assist others. So we just willed to make this known and put it on the record. We are all about the people, but the people got to be about the people too, because it was a people who sent those emails. We love them. We will always love them, but we are not going to go to your domicile and write out an affidavit for you. We're not going to do that. None of this Congress will do that when you can write for yourself. And with that being stated, put your faith, your fate, your feet to work for you. These three words are the same word: faith, fate, and feet. Because that's why the Biblio says faith without works is dead. That means if you don't get up and use your feet, and the post office is your feet too. When you send the word, that's your feet. In the Biblios, the story of the centurion and Yeshua, the centurion's servant was sick, and he said to Yeshua, "My servant is sick." Yeshua said, "Okay, I'll come to where you are after I finish healing people here." And the centurion said, "You don't have to come. Just send your word, and my servant will be made whole." That's how powerful our words are. Our words are movement. the Moorish divine and national movement for the whole world. Movement, Islam. How have we stayed true to our nation for so long? How have we been doing this government work, all of us, for so long? For us in particular, and when I say us, I'm talking about me and my ancestral energies within, we were shown our inheritance from the very beginning, and our ancestors trusted us to manifest our estate. Our ancestors put their trust in us, all of us, each one of us. Our ancestors said, we trust that you will go and do, because we are within you, and we're going to go and do through you. All you have to do is be willing to do, to be. That is trust law. That's the very first trust law right there. Trust is you say it and then you do it. We established a spiritual trust first with our ancient foremothers and forefathers. Then we made promises to ourselves. And we put the promises in trust and kept them. Putting something in trust means keeping it within you first, and keeping means doing. Then we bonded with others and made promises to them and kept them. This Congress was a promise made and a promise kept between all of us. We became trust because we are trustworthy, starting with trusting ourselves first and keeping our word to ourselves, knowing that we are our ancestors' return. Keeping your word to yourself is more important than keeping your word to anybody else. If you say to yourself, self, I'm going to exercise today. Self, I'm going to fast. Self, I'm going to relax. Self, I'm going to take really good care of you. That's more important than anything you could ever say to me or anybody else, is keeping your word there, because your temple houses and domiciles the ancient energies and the ancient beings and the ancient spirit. So we must keep our word to ourselves first. And that's how you know within you that you are trustworthy. That's the security, is when you keep your word to make sure you take care of you first. Your health, your healing, your mind, that's not anybody outside of you's issue. It's not their job to make sure you eat the right food, when all you have to do is make a choice. Make a choice. And for some, we can eat anything because we fast and clean and clear and cleanse. So we don't limit ourselves there either. We do not limit ourselves. We eat whatever we will, and then we cleanse and fast, because we were going to cleanse and fast anyway. Keeping our word to ourselves. That's the most important trust you could ever have. See, people want to establish trust on paper, and they want to trust with the banking system, and they want to trust with, all types of, they want to trust with wealth and all of that. Your first wealth is you. Our most important and most lucrative and most rare earth mineral is us. So keep trust there first. And then our heirs will do the same. That means that's a guarantee that the nation continues through you, because the nation will always continue. It's just a choice on, will the nation continue through you or someone else? And it all starts with nationality, declaring who you are, declaring that you are of this ancient bloodline and birthright, and that you have all rights to self-govern. It's not even a choice. It's a right. It's the law. We don't have a choice whether to govern or not govern, whether to take care of our temples or not take care of our temples. Those are not optional. We promised ourselves that we would access our inheritance. That was another trust. We promised ourselves that we would be ourselves. That was another promise and a trust that was built. We promised ourselves that we would be the hands, feet, and mouth for our ancient ancestors. Because, see, that's how 1 and 2 is done with number 3. We promised the nation that we would stand together, and the nation promised to stand with us. We did so and still do, and the nation does too. See, the nation is not way out, far out there somewhere. We're the nation, all of us. We promised our heirs that we would create an amazing future for them. We promised that, and we've done that. We're doing it and continue to do it. We promised our teachers that we would continue the work. We're doing that also. We trust ourselves to keep our word, and we have done that also. There is a trust and a bond between all parties, and we honor that. Islam. Can you trust yourself? If you wake up in the morning and you say, today I'm going to do this, will you do it? Will you do it? You haven't even told anyone else. You just said it to yourself. And that's something that we're continuing to perfect as well. Are there any questions, comments, wisdom regarding this particular topic? Islam.
Islam, Empress, could you back it up so I can grab from 6 on?
Okay, sure.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I just need 5. Okay, let me take that snapshot there. For 1 second.
Islam. It is important that we trust ourselves first before we put our trust in anyone else, because it's not anyone else's job to do the things that we can do for ourselves. Islam.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. But I'm trying to put a title to them for the ones that I put.
Islam. We're just so grateful for all that our ancestors are showing us and doing through us.
Islam.
Islam, Empress.
Thank you.
So, I don't want to be off topic, but I do want to repeat something I heard on tajiri.
Yes, Empress.
I call forth my ancestors to me. I spent this morning, when I woke up, writing this in calligraphy because I thought it was so wonderful I should share it. Okay, I'll start again. I call forth my ancestors to me. I invoke the blood that runs through me. I invoke the land that bore me. I invoke the law that governs me from within. I am not lost. We are never lost. This is our return.
Yes.
It so touched me. I thought I had to write it 4 times and 5 times and share it with other people.
Yes.
And here I am sharing it again. Thank you for letting me.
Thank you, Empress Rosetal. It was beautiful. I could feel the energy, and of course, I'm sure I'm not the only one who got goosebumps during that time period when Empress Dr. Nyella Gilliam put that on the screen. Caused everyone to make those statements.
Yeah, it's so wonderful. It's just gentium, and just it's like each one. She didn't miss even one. Thank you again.
Yeah, Islam. We're so grateful. Islam, indeed. We did consume. we enjoy consumption as well. But see, she added application to the consumption. We love that. Islam. That is, and demonstrations like that are a part of the bond and are part of the trust. Those types of demonstrations, they establish trust. Frequencies. Islam. We're all talking about the same thing, the same bloodline, the same ancestors. We're all speaking with one voice. That's trust. Another quick topic, just a sidebar. Asia is called the Orient because when we remember where we are, which is called orientation, we will know that this is the uniting of Asia. So all that we're doing is the uniting of Asia. Asia was the ancient name for all land connected together. It was one of many names for all land connected together. Other names include Gaia, Pangea, and other names for the land. So it's called the Orient because when we realize what was just stated, we know then that we are properly oriented back to where we were initially. In fact, let me look really quickly. The definition for the word orient is to arise. Wow. That is amazing. The definition for the word orient is to arise. It's from the Latin oriens or oriri. It says brilliant, shining, precious, originally of pearls, rising as the sun. That's what orient means. Rising. This is the great rising. And again, once we know where we are properly oriented. It's about location and who we are. Okay? It says Orient, the East, opposed to Occident. The East, Asia, Eastern Asia, the quality that determines a pearl's value or luster. Orient, to set as a map in agreement with the points of the compass. That means put yourself back where you were, where you came from. It says orient, to show or establish relationship with others by placing or arranging in a certain manner. That is what we have done. To show and establish relationship. We're not mad at the foreigners who came here because we've placed the relationship back like it was when they first got here. They were subject to us when they first came here. They were created to be subject to us. That is the creation. And again, all of earth was created to be subject to us. Biblically, it is called dominion over all.
Islam,
Empress.
And in Yoruba, Ori means head.
Ooh, ooh, mm. Wow.
There it is. Yeah.
That's capitation or capitalization. That means head too.
Right. So this is the right head.
It's the right head. Yes.
Right location, right place, right status, right standing, right position. Yeah.
No denationalization by consent of decapitation.
Right.
Yeah. It's all in the words, and we know the words. We know the words because in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with us, and the Word is still with us, and we are the Word. Yeah. Speaking of the Word, are you all aware that there are two international boundaries here at North America? At these two places, Carthage, Texas, and Mobile, Alabama, that there are two universally known international boundaries at these two territories. That just, before we go into what that really means, for us, that just means that anywhere that we state is ours, is ours. Carthage, Texas, and Mobile, Alabama that's not the quote unquote southern border that was previously enacted. International boundaries. At Carthage, Texas, there is a boundary marker located on the Louisiana-Texas border near the junction of Texas 31, which is a highway, and Louisiana Highway 765, southeast of Deadwood, Texas. The marker was created in 1840 and placed in 1841 to mark the international border between the United States and the Republic of Texas. And that marker and that border is why Texas is called the Lone Star State. And that's why a lot of the foreigners have now moved to Texas, and they're saying they're part of the Republic. Islam Empress.
Republic of Texas or Texas Republic?
It's actually Texas Republic.
Okay, that's easy.
It's or we can say the Republic for Texas.
The Republic for Texas.
Yeah.
Which is the living jurisdiction.
Yes.
So that was between the U.S. or the United States. I mean, I'm just looking at it and
there was no U.S. at that time.
There was no U.S. at that time. That is absolutely correct.
That's something we did.
We did, right. And there you again, you stated it earlier, the Lone Star State. That was the one that was still standing. We're not.
Yeah.
That.
And the foreigners that have gone there now are saying that it was never corporate.
That still doesn't change their status.
It doesn't change their status. They're just enacting some things.
They're enacting, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What they're saying is, we want to stay here.
That's exactly.
And you know, in the funny mirror, there is a subject by the name of Glenn Beck who moved there, and he does podcasts about that sort of thing.
Yes. He's been around for a while. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ah, I didn't know about that piece of him moving there, but yes.
Mm-hmm. He moved from, I believe, California or wherever he was doing his enactment, and moved to Texas for protection.
Because what he was speaking, he got too close. There was some, yes.
Yeah.
And so that makes complete sense.
He started talking about the Republic and all of that.
Exactly. He was getting too fiery, too hot with the truth.
Yeah.
Or enacting,
Yeah. Well, he was trying to come out of the acting and go into the reality. The reality is all of this land belongs to us. Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that, yes.
And he was trying to come out of Hollywood and into real life.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing and stating and is real life. This is real life.
He wanted to come from the dead into the living. He wanted to be resurrected.
Islam.
He didn't want to be a part of theater anymore.
Yeah.
Islam interest.
Islam, no. Islam.
Would you allow comedian, please?
When you look at the old movies and you see that everything, every word or every name is in all capital letters in the black and white movies, and when you see that, they always put a statement at the end of the movie that says, any names portrayed in this movie are fictitious, or they'll say this movie is fictitious, and any resemblance to anything living or any person's living or dead is purely coincidental.
Yes.
They're telling you there that the all caps is a dead corpse.
Yes. Because they had to.
It's a script.
It's the script, and it's also part of the whole, putting it before them. Are they going to wake up? Are they going to bite? Are they going to? And of course, as you were stating earlier with what Grand Sheik stated, it's setting there when they're setting a narrative, laying a narrative. It's like a trap, really, but they're testing the waters.
Yes, and they used Hollywood, Columbia. You know how the movie start with this woman and she's holding up this, and all of it. That's the test. Do you believe this, or do you know that this is theater?
Is it real or is it Memorex? There used to be a commercial for cassette tapes, and it was, is it real or is it Memorex? And of course,
and it's funny they called it
real because
go ahead, Empress.
REEL is real, but REAL is real. So the sound again, right before your very eyes, but wherever you are, location, mind-wise, jurisdiction will be what you, and with your eyes, you see Memorex cassette tape. So if you're not solid on your feet, you're going to be steered in the flow where the manipulation, the mind manipulation, and not necessarily stand and see it from a distance where you can see all the different fruit, as it were. Mm-hmm.
See, Hollywood, and I'll use this term, leaked out onto everything.
Yes.
In the enactment. The scripts leaked out onto, if I may recommend a movie that shows when everything turned upside down. It's called To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes.
There's a movie. And the point of the movie was to shut the Moors up and have them to buy into others representing and speaking for them. attorneys particularly, lawyers particularly, quote unquote.
Liars.
That's why it's called To Kill a Mockingbird. Because a mockingbird just says what you say.
Right.
That's what capitalism is or was. It says what you say and then tries to trick you into thinking that, oh, they're the real government, not you.
Not you.
Even though they're the mockingbird.
But that's what, I mean, that really is what they do anyway. In the funny mirror, they're laughing. They're mocking the people anyway. I mean, that's what they're actually doing.
Well, be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap.
And there you go. Yeah.
If you use fake courts to do stuff, you're going to have to go to them fake courts. 34 count convicted felon.
That's because you're consenting to going. You're with your own word, with your own mouth.
You're saying that they're valid.
That's it.
To Kill a Mockingbird was about a quote unquote black man, and when this one came out, the Moors was like, they're calling him black. He's agreeing to be black. That's why the movie was so popular. That's why in school they had us reading that book, To Kill a Mockingbird.
I was going to say we had to read it as part of the curriculum.
Mm-hmm. Yes. To Kill a Mockingbird was about a black man. Oh, he was accused of a crime against a white woman, quote unquote.
You have to have the quote unquote there because
let's make sure we put that in there.
Yes.
And he went to a fake court instead of being the court himself. He agreed to be black. And they convicted him. I'll just spoil it for you. Spoiler alert. He was convicted. And and the lawyer, quote unquote, who was representing him, one of the major scenes in this theater was him walking out of the courtroom and the way he looked when the guilty verdict was read. It was one of those, well, we got him now. And he's agreeing to be guilty for being black and doing things while black.
You know, Islam, the fact is, within all of this,
mm-hmm.
no one can name you. No one can tell you who you are. No
mm-hmm.
one, without you consenting, because it's not the truth. And that's
but see, we have to say it though. Yeah.
Because when you know yourself, no one can tell you who you are. No one can make you who you are not. No one, I mean, it's that simple and that powerful. And then when you know that who you are is supreme, and you are the supreme authority over yourself and your nation and together. I mean,
but then you can implement this strategy right here. See, when you go back to this strategy right here, you can implement this strategy when you know all of that.
When you know all of that, I mean, and the world is your oyster.
Yeah.
And pearls come from oysters. You were just speaking on pearls.
Yeah.
It's right there, even in those statements, sometimes coming across as pithy sayings. The world is my oyster, our oyster. It's you know, even in all the enactments and the rubbish that's flung about to try again with the dead narrative to detract and distract and all of those other things. Once you know who you are and all that goes along with that, demonstration, there is no fear, because ultimately everything must come into alignment using our systems, that knowledge and our systems and processes.
Yeah.
I yield.
Islam. Thank you, Empress. The other place where this international boundary is Mobile, Alabama, and they put a stone there also. Ellicott's Stone, also known as the Ellicott Stone, is a boundary marker in northern Mobile County, Alabama. Let's spell Alabama correctly, because that's an incompetent spelling right there. It was placed on April 10, 1799. And I will say this again, there were no, we were the ones placing these things here. It was placed on 1799, April 10th, by a joint United States Spanish, that just means Moors, survey party headed by Andrew Ellicott. It was designated by the American Society for Civil Engineers as a historic civil engineering landmark in 1968 and was added to the National Register for Historic Places 1973, April 11th. It is the only known stone monument set by Ellicott when he surveyed the 31st parallel north latitude, which served as a boundary between the Mississippi Territory in the United States and Spanish West Florida. And again, we're talking about the Moors at Alhambra, the Alhambra at at Florida. The boundary line extended along the 31st parallel from the Mississippi River east to the Chattahoochee River, as set forth in the 1795 Pinckney Treaty, formerly known as the Treaty for San Lorenzo. So again, at any time, we can designate land to be international land or our, whatever we will to designate, just as we stated that every place is domestic right now. The whole earth is domestic for us, so that we can get everything done and keep moving forward with all that, with connecting with each other. Islam. And so again, now Moors, pay close attention to this particular presentment that we've restated. We're restating the whole thing. The National Register for Historic Places is being restated even now. We would encourage each one of you to take a look at it, and if you see something on there that you will to restate, we would encourage you to do so. And that's all I'm going to say about that right now. Are there any other questions, comments, wisdom from this amazing Congress? Islam Knowbility.
Gratitude for all the nourishment that you have given. I'm grateful. My journey has been very enlightening, and I've been learning, I've been opening up and learning how to govern my estate, doing the lien, levies, and bonds. I ran across a check that I wish to properly process, and I was wondering if you could go over that, or would that be too much?
Lien, levy, bond,
A check?
wherever you're sending it to.
Cash in the bank?
Lien. Okay, who's the bank and where's the bank, or are you talking about a banking system?
My bank that I'm restating.
You are the bank and you're restating the banking system. It's a system.
Right.
All systems will respond to our documentation when we state them properly. We've demonstrated that as well. So, lien, levy, bond, and then by affidavit, when you create your instrument, create the instrument with affidavit, the fiduciary affidavit as well. Again, this is all done by court action, and you know the court action language at the top of the paperwork. It's the same process that we've always been doing, that we've been discussing, Knowbility. And then create your own instrument. You have to create your own instrument. Don't use theirs. Create your own.
You're saying,
and
in
then,
other words, print the check out and restate it, basically.
However you choose, or however your spirit says to do that. Okay, let's be led by the spirit from the beginning with the whole process, because that's what we did. So create your own instrument. What we did when we cashed ours, or deposited ours rather, is we created our own from start to finish. We looked at the one from the previous era, and then we said, okay, this is what it should look like, but it has to have, some things have to be done correctly. You know, the address has to be correct. The name has to be correct. Everything has to be spelled out. Let the spirit lead you on that. Yeah. But it's the same processes that we've been doing. Lien, levy, bond, and then create.
Gratitude.
I would encourage you all, also, all Moors, I would encourage you, there's a movie that I watched, and we know that all the things that we do are legal and lawful because we've created our own legal and lawful systems. But just the boldness of by which the attempted usurpation or the enactment of a usurpation took place is represented in these movies. There's one called Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio, the subject. And in this movie, you know, first of all, his father in the movie, his father was doing things in propria persona, not in propria persona, but in capitis diminutio minima. He had a business, and when you look at his business logo, he was doing things without capitalization, right? And the movie was set in the early 1900s. And so the government, which was us then too, was saying to all the businesses, y'all owe taxes. Y'all gonna have to pay taxes to us. That's what was going on in the background. They're not going to say that the Moors were taxing them in the movie. They're just saying that there wasn't any capitalization at the time. But then Leonardo DiCaprio, they were so poor by the time it was all said and done with the taxes and things. They had everything taken from them. There was a Fifth Amendment taking by the government in this movie. They took their house, their car, and everything. Okay. And so Leonardo DiCaprio started making and mimicking instruments, checks. He started mimicking checks from the different businesses and cashing them. It was a very interesting movie in that kind of showed us that we have the authority to create our own instrument. That's what I got from it, is that no one can do anything about, and we know that because we've demonstrated it. We've demonstrated a $10 million instrument and a $100 million instrument. We've demonstrated that. We know we have the authority to create them. But this movie just kind of showed the boldness by which the foreigners came here and just, because his father was a first-generation immigrant. And they came here to start businesses and do things and to prosper, and they prospered. But then the switch happened in the early 1900s after 1913. And they showed some of the developments of how that happened. So it's a good movie to watch. It just emboldened us even more so. Not that we needed any emboldenment. We didn't need any motivation to continue to be ourselves. It's called Catch Me If You Can by Leonardo, and it has Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie. So if there be nothing further, are there any other questions, comments, wisdom from this Congress? Islam.
I have a quick question. And this is for clarification on the lien, levy, and bond process.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope I'm not repeating the question, but however, on the lien, like I said, for clarification on the lien, levy, and bond process,
Mm-hmm.
are we to schedule and hold a court action before we, send out the lien, levy, and bond?
What does your spirit say? And Empress Imani, you've asked that question before. So for you, the answer is yes. The spirit is speaking to tell you to...
I apologize.
The spirit is saying to you to be the judge.
Well, here is the reason why I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
Again, is because it's been stated by others that before you do this, and that's the reason why I'm confused, because I'm like, well, wait a minute, because here is what Empress Light said. So, and I prefer to do the way that Empress Light has stated to do. But it's been stated from others, no, you have to do the court action first. And I'm trying to figure out, well, wait a minute, because it doesn't quite add up to me.
Okay, so let me say this about that, Empress, because I know that is going on. First and foremost, and I'll just say this, no one speaks for me. No one speaks for me. So if someone says, Empress Light said, you have to do this first. When you, especially court actions, every affidavit is a court action because the court action language is at the top of it. But now there are some among us, particularly matriarchs, who are being called forth to actually demonstrate court actions on the public record for a specific reason. Empress Imani, you are one of them. Empress Shasha is another. She's been doing court actions on the public record because the spirit told her that she should do those. And for some reason, you've asked that question a couple of times. I know that the spirit has already chosen you to be a Chief Justice on the public record, doing court actions, speaking them out on the public record for some reason.
Yes, Mom, and I agree. I affirm. The only thing was the order of it. And that's what was confusing me, because I was like, well, wait a minute.
Okay. Let your spirit lead you on that order.
Thank you.
Let your spirit lead you on that order.
Thank you.
We did it the way we did it because the spirit led us to do it that way. You're listening to the spirit because the spirit keeps telling you to ask about the court action. That's how we know the spirit is telling you to do it.
No,
because see, there is a specific calling for matriarchs who do court actions on the public record. There's a specific calling that's mentioned in all the ancient records, that there were specific ones called to do that. You're one of them.
And the thing is, I'm not confused on whether or not
I can't hear you, Empress. Speak up just a little bit.
Islam. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, that's better.
Okay, so it's not that I'm confused on whether or not I should do it, because I affirm.
Yeah.
I am one of those ones that's going to be that will hold the court action. It's just I needed to know the correct process. So now
lead you.
So now I got it. I need to do what the Spirit is leading me to do.
Yeah.
So since that's the way that it should happen, then I got it.
And Empress, you will never be wrong when you let your spirit lead you in governing your estate and the affairs of this nation.
Islam, I'm okay now. I just wanted to make sure that I'm in the right and doing the process as been stated already before I go changing anything.
Yeah.
So right. So that's all. I just wanted to get that clarity, because some other whispers going on, and I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. So I'm good now.
We've always stated, though, that the Spirit is your first and highest authority, even with the order of things that we do. Because guess what? At the end of the day, you're going to have to stand on what you're doing. Not anybody else that's whispering things and saying, no, it should be done this way. Well, even the ones that are saying it should be done that way, and I don't know who that is, but what I'm stating is, if people start whispering about, no, it's supposed to be done this way, that way, have they done it on the public record so people can see? Have they? We don't know.
No.
And that's the point of all of this, is the ones that are doers of the word and not just hearers only, because that's biblical. You know, they used to say that in the church. We must be doers, that's biblical, and not just hearers only. The ones that are doing it are going to do it the way the Spirit says do it. And they'll be right every time.
I affirm and answer literally my question.
The point is, do it. That's the point. According to our great Chief Justise, even. Just do that. It must be done. It must be done. Here at the beginning of Congress, what did we say? Prove what you say you can do by doing it. And if you send some documents before you do it, or you do it, then send the documents, either way, it's going to be done, because the documents are going to say what you say, and you're going to say what the documents say. Where 2 or 3 witnesses, did you know your documents are a witness of you? Every word is established.
I am good.
So don't let anybody indoctrinate you by saying, oh, you did the court action before you sent the paperwork, you did it wrong. Don't ever listen to that. Don't ever listen to that. Do it. Let the Spirit lead you. And here's the thing, when the Spirit leads you, the Spirit is going to give you the right order. It's called New World Order for a reason. New World Order. That means somebody was doing it one way, and now it's got to be done this way. It's a different order. You're governing your own resources. Who can tell you how to govern your resources? Did you know it's against the acts of state? And I say acts of state. It's against the state's law to have another state come in and even tell you how to govern your state, when you know you're a state and you've declared statehood. And since we're doing all of this together, again, the court action must be done. documents must be done because that's the protocol that we all agreed to. But we didn't say if you do it this way, there's a penalty. We didn't even put penalties into what we're doing. We didn't even put penalties in there for a reason. We just did fee. There are no penalties in this. God gods the way God gods. As long as God is godding and not genuflexed and bowing to others. God must God because there is no other. There is one God and we are all she. In the Biblios, there is one called Deborah. And Deborah is one of the only females in the Old Testament mentioned as a leader. Why? Because she brought up the judges. She raised the judges. She got the people starting to judge their own affairs. That's what Deborah did. She told the people, you're sovereign, you're your own judges. Judge your own stuff. Don't go someplace foreign to do that. So that's a good study too, to study Deborah in the Biblios and what she did among the nations.
Islam Empress.
Islam nobility.
Peace and great grand rising to all the Moors.
Islam.
Justice Anthony Jettising, ex-Macon Territory. I received a package in the mail with some herbs, and this came from Louisville, Kentucky Territory.
Probably Justice Ogunwale, probably.
Yes, Emmanuel Bay. And yes, and there is also a picture of Empress there on the package. I can't read the writing, but I want to say gratitude, enough thanks for it. Appreciate it. Yeah. And I also want to say gratitude to Chief Justice Mosey Bay for the round table on our Thursdays. We appreciate you, and we're doing really good. And we thank you for all your wisdom, your efforts. Yeah.
Islam.
And thank you to you too, Empress, for your wisdom and your time. We really love and appreciate you also.
Thank you, nobility. It is an honor.
Indeed, Empress.
It's an honor.
Of love and respect.
Islam. And gratitude and congratulations on receiving your inheritance. That's another part. You got so much more coming.
Indeed, Empress. Oh, and I forgot. Did you ever receive the cola nuts that I sent, the dizzy?
You know what? I haven't yet, but there was one or two packages that came in that I didn't get down there to get. So hopefully it didn't go back. Hopefully it wasn't one of those. There was like one or two of them that I didn't see the notices to go and pick them up until later. Until that time period. I think it's 3 days, or it's either 3 days or 10 days. 3, 7, or 10 days was on there.
Okay.
I try to get down there as often as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We will receive it. Even if we have to get it face to face, we'll get it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, Empress.
Yeah. Islam.
Islam. Enough love and respect.
Islam, Justice Dumois.
Yes, I received the same package that he did from Louisville, Kentucky.
Beautiful. Justice Ogunwale is busy, okay? He is he's tributing and all of that.
Okay, and I got that same photograph of the young lady in there too. I didn't know who she was.
You know what? Justice Ogunwale is honoring his matriarch.
Okay.
He is honoring his matriarch. She is being known worldwide just because of his work. She is being known worldwide. Her memory it lives forever.
Well, I appreciate it, and so I want to let everyone know who has anything to send, please send it, because I'm always trying to catch up, and I really would appreciate it. Islam.
We will do that, Knowbility. What we're doing is people didn't think we could do it. I'm just going to tell you the truth about the matter. They didn't think that we could use our own money to get products that heal and help us. They didn't think we would do it. They thought we were too greedy for fiat to do it. And guess what? They are silent now, muted completely. No one thought we could do what we're doing right now. Go on to the land, pull the natural resources, get them ready, and then tribute them. See, that's what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was trying to do. He was trying to tribute to the people. He was trying to get the people some stuff out there to them that will heal and help. And we're so grateful for his work. And now we're able to do that. No one. And let me tell you, there were some who were saying, no, we're the trustees for the Prophet's Trust. And I won't call any names on that one. It was quite a few saying that when we first woke up and said, where's the people's stuff at? The people's supposed to be having some stuff. They're heirs. They're supposed to get things. They're supposed to be receiving things according to their inheritance. Where is their natural resources? And people were, we're the trustees for Prophet Noble Drew Ali's trust. Well, where's the people? Where's the tribute? Where's the tribute to the people, the beneficiaries, the heirs? Where's that stuff? Where's their stuff? And nobody said a word. In fact, they were asking for fiat to get things. We were like, no, this is not how that works. That's not how that works. Nope, not according to law. And now look, natural resources going everywhere to the people, from the people to the people. Tribute. That makes whoever sends things a trustor, ahead of the trust. Islam.
Yemaya Harith Bey. Peace and Grand Rising, Empress.
Islam.
I also received a package, but mine came from Texas.
Did you know that yours came from Texas? That those are some of the first tributes to the people in centuries.
Okay. Yep, it has can't pronounce it. Mutaba Bay. Mujtuba Bay.
Muja, probably Muja.
Muja Bay. And it is herbs. Let me see.
That heal.
I made sure.
And see, that's the thing.
And unexpected and
Mm-hmm.
camphor CAMPHOR leaves. With
You know what? I
instructions.
received some of that too.
Okay. And I'm like,
There it is, right there.
let me send my things out. I'm thinking that my stuff is not what it, But no, I'm sending
Empress, you better send your stuff out. Listen, our brother that sent these camphor leaves, all he did was dry them out, put them in a bag, tape the bag up, label it. He put a label to tell you what camphor does. It's an antiseptic, anti-inflammatory, and analgesic.
Yes.
It reduces coughs and swelling and all of that.
Yes.
And sends it.
Yes.
We don't have to. It don't have to look like. It doesn't have to be laden with gold in order for us to send it.
Right.
We just need to get it out there. Give tribute to the people, the natural resources to heal and to help, so that they are not.
I wanted to say that, and I'm glad that the other nobles reminded me, because I put this up. And I was reminded, so gratitude to you nobles for reminding me that I wanted to state that. I received another package. Gratitude, Empress.
You just made our day even better.
Okay. I'm gonna mute my mic because my air here is Energizer Bunny. Peace and love.
We love to hear the airs. We love to hear them. Empress Yamaya, thank you so much. That just makes our day even better and brighter. And Empress Shernette says she received a package as well from Muchabal Bay in Texas, at Texas Territory. Chief Justice Muchabal, we're just so grateful for you. So grateful for you and for what you've sent to us all. The people were supposed to be getting things that heal them. Salts and balms and oils and leaves and remedy. And those that were claiming to be trustees were supposed to be sending it out. That's how you prove you're a trustor. For us, it's trustor. You prove you're a trustor by what? Test it on the public. And it's not even a test for us. We just publish our truth and build the infrastructure, which is, the infrastructure is supply lines also. So we become a supplier when we send our products out. This is the part where we introduce the cure. We're just so grateful for Chief Justice Bay at Texas Territory, Muchabal Bay. We love it. Thank you so much. This is amazing. Islam. Any other questions, comments, wisdom? We are the cure. We are the Savior. We are the Lords and gods. And so let's get busy being God. Let's get busy godding.
Islam.
Islam, Empress.
This is Nabi. I think it's Mustafa Bey. That's one of the elder empresses that's here in Texas that has.
We're so grateful. We're so grateful for her. Empress Nabi, if you have an opportunity to connect with her, will you please send her our thanks? Because she's about her estate.
Yes, she is all the time. Yes, she is.
We love it.
Definitely do that. She may be on the call and may be unable to unmute. So
she is a doer and not just a hearer.
Islam, she is.
She's sending healing all over.
Yes, ma'am.
We love it. We love it. We love it. She's proving that the land belongs to her. She's proven that.
She works hard in that garden. She works very hard in that garden. But it's a good toil. I should say that. Very
because
good
it's hers. It's kind of like giving birth. Yeah, it's work. But look at the results.
Yes. And everything's all organic. So, yes.
We're so grateful. We're so grateful to all the Moors that are tributing to the heirs who actually were supposed to be receiving these things. The heirs were never supposed to have to go down the street to a place called a pharmacy to get health and healing. They were never supposed to do that. They were supposed to be receiving their health and healing from the land. And now we're doing that. Hadn't been done in centuries. At this level of everywhere. Canaan land and the islands and everywhere. The United Kingdom, everywhere. For this, we are grateful. I'm so grateful for this Congress because everything that we've been saying and stating is manifesting through this Congress. That's vindication almost is what it feels like. It's like almost like when someone would say something and people would be like, that's a lie, that's a lie. And then it turns out to be true because everybody can see that it's the truth. That's what this Congress has done for the whole nation, not just us. This Congress has manifested the words of our great Sheikh Taj and of all the others who are out on the public record stating, yes, we really are the heirs to all land, all natural resources, and all commerce. We really are. So I could go all day about that, but I'll pause here. Are there any other questions, comments, wisdom from this amazing manifesting Congress?
Islam, I have one more.
Yes, Islam.
Just a little words of wisdom for any Moors that may be sending any tributes that may be liquid. If you don't have shrink wrap, use saran wrap with a blow dryer to secure it so it doesn't leak or it's not tampered with.
Yes, saran wrap with a blow dryer. Isn't that good? Isn't that good? Because that's just going to make it
right on.
Yes, it will. That's vacuum packing it without having to buy a vacuum packer. That's awesome, Empress Nabi. Thank you for that. I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yes, I do it with soaps as well. Keep it tight and, clean. So if I make bars of soap, I wrap it with and then use the blow dryer on it to shrink it on there really tight.
So excited for us because of these types of things, Empress Nabi. There's nothing we cannot do. And Morris, listen, all we did was use what we had. That's all we did. Use what we had and just don't wait until it's so pretty and perfect because it may never get there at this point for you. Just get it done. We're mission oriented right now. Get it out there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Get it out there. Whatever it is that you have, tribute that. Get it out there because every space that you create when you send something out, the ancestors feel it so fast it's going to make your turban just, it really is. You will never lack doing what we're doing. You'll never lack. You'll have an abundance of everything that you will to have by tributing from the land to the heirs. Islam. I'll continue to put emphasis on that. because it's so important. If you think you're lacking something, or if you're feeling a spirit of lack, start tributing. Get the stuff out there. And watch that spirit of lack run so far away from you that you'll never know it was there in the first place. With that being stated, we will adjourn until this coming Sunday. If there are any processes that you all will for us to emphasize, let us know what those processes are, and we'll go back over them. We don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that, but because we have Congresses there. But if there's anything that we can clarify, let us know. Peace and grand rising to the sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine heirs, Islam.
Peace and grand rising.
Islam.
Islam. Respect.
Great grand
rising.
Great grand rising.
Islam.
Peace and love.
More.
Grand rising.
Great rising indeed. Islam.
Long live the empire, Moors.
Yes, long live the empire. C Petite L. Thank you for what you sent. It was amazing.
Islam.
We love it. Keep the publication going. Islam.
Islam.